to my humble abode, my office, where I stream. I am a brand VTuber, Star Shadow, aka Star, real life librarian, family man with a daughter, 3 cats. When everyone's settled down for the night, I get to play some games. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But before we get into the game a little bit, I have to say that I was really affected today reading an article written by the wrestler Big E on the Players Tribute. It was one that was pointed out by a few people. Actually, I had seen a couple places, and finally got around to reading it today. It's only been out a couple days, but if you know anything about me, well, I mean, I guess we haven't talked about it too much, but I am a wrestling fan. I am someone who enjoys following, especially following the meta around it and everything. But for me, I don't have the time to watch anymore. I try to catch a little bit when I can, but usually what I do is catch up on clips and stuff like that. But it was an interesting article because it was nominally about the 10-year anniversary of the group New Day in WWE. A group of 3 black wrestlers who came together and basically pushed each other to huge heights, higher than what could reasonably be expected for a bunch of black wrestlers at the time. But the interesting thing about the story was the beginning, in which Big E talked about his life growing up and how much he was not the most happy with himself. His life was safe and comfortable and stuff, but he felt like he wasn't loved. He had, seemed to be going through depression looking back on it. Just had to escape from the oppressiveness of life sometimes at home, and just how much he kind of hated himself for a long time, even until he finally, and then going through and breaking out, getting a chance to leave and go to Iowa to play football, and then all of the mental hurdles and struggles he had there because of injuries, really bad injuries, the help that he got through some of his coaches, and just how much he kind of struggled for a long time and kind of got a late start with some things. And it was very interesting and eye-opening to me to read about that, because now you see him and he projects and seems to be someone who is positive and outgoing and loving life, but real struggles there hide underneath everything. And I find it interesting because it's I think we all kind of have that to some extent or another. We all have our own struggles. We all have our own issues and problems that we don't always show to people, that we don't always talk about, that we try to hide. And even if some of that is, in the past, for a lot of people, especially people who watch streams and get into chats and get into communities, a lot of people struggle with these kind of things, especially among the younger crowd. Obviously I'm not in the younger crowd anymore myself, but I mean, I remember going through a lot of that stuff and how difficult it was to find myself, and how difficult it was to love myself sometimes, and just trying to make my way through a world where it seemed like everyone had it together but me. Even people who I were like, maybe they didn't have it all together. I mean, I still felt that maybe I didn't have it all together either, and just how common, I guess, probably that feeling is among people. And it's like, I think one of those things that as we get older, I think we tend to not quite forget about it. I'm not gonna say it's forgotten at all, because it's really not, but just kind of shoved to the side, being like, okay, that was in the past, let's not address that. It's time to focus on the present, when lots of people would probably benefit from hearing more about that and the struggles, and that yes, most of the time, almost always, it does get better. The things that you think you're struggling with now, lots of people are struggling with, and you just have to keep going until it finally hits, and until you can finally, I don't even want to say be happy, but just feel like things are going in a direction that you can live with. Because you still struggle with things for a long time. I've had self-confidence issues for a very, very long time, and I wouldn't say that they're gone now, but their issues are not as prevalent anymore. And so it's definitely helped my outlook in life with that. But the issues are still there. There always will be there, always something to struggle through, but sometimes they are more handled than other times. I mean, it's interesting the number of people who stream, and even our big streamers, who have these kind of issues too with their self-confidence and their just how much people like them, I guess, even. And it's a struggle to go through that, especially for younger people, younger streamers who may not already have a strong sense of self, a strong sense of how to take care of themselves and the mental health and strong support systems and things like that. And I think I don't know, it might be useful to have more voices that are out there who have gone through these things, and be out there, you know, promoting that, hey, these struggles that you're going through are not things you struggle through alone. It's not things you struggle, that it's not things that you struggle, that it's only your struggle, that you're the only person who has these struggles. Many people feel the same way, and you are, you know, not alone, kind of thing. And I think I talked about how I'm planning on getting some new art, and kind of adjusting character a little bit, and it kind of goes along those lines there, and that I've felt like this is still a very much a representation of myself, and not really more of a character kind of thing, to go to kind of go into more of like a wrestling kind of thing. I'm not playing that character. I'm not taking some pieces of myself and just amplifying them for entertainment. And I feel like one thing I need to do is, in fact, get that different bit of art and model and stuff, and try to craft something that's not quite me, but amplifying a part that will still be genuine, but also able to be freer from the constraints of what I would normally present as a functional human being, I guess. So after like a long time of really thinking about it, I had finally come up with something that I was happy with, that I felt represented, especially the things that I like to do on stream and the things that I continue to want to do. And so finally coming up with a concept, that's why I started reaching out to people to see who could help me bring this to life. So it was just interesting that this story came out as I was kind of struggling with that kind of thing myself, and not quite the depression and everything that he went through, but finding what I wanted to be here and having to navigate some of those struggles before, and remembering what we went through and struggling with self-confidence and trying to find something that I felt could be me, but also not me in a way, something more than what like this model represents. So yeah, it was very interesting, and I don't know who actually like watches much of this or in the back, or you know, afterwards in the VODs. I know there's apparently some people that watch via the VOD system always have a few views, which is interesting, and I wonder if people do actually watch this and maybe this is like the only part they watch, but it is, you know, interesting, and I'm hoping that by taking that step to separate myself from what I want to be on stream, I can also feel comfortable enough to be like, hey, we can talk about some of this other stuff too. It's not taboo or anything. It's still me. It's just also an abstraction as well. So there's like a layer in between that might make it even easier to be upfront about things like that and talk about things like that. So maybe we'll see. We'll see when that time comes when we're able to move on. But it was just, like I said, it was interesting that that article came out as I was going through this, and just how much I could relate to what he was saying, and it just kind of hit home for me. So I just thought I'd bring that up. I don't know who else might need to read that or hear that, but it's all out there. I mean, we all struggle. We all have our own past. May not be the exact same thing, but we do have our struggles, things that we want to go through and do, kind of things. I don't know. But okay, it's time to finish up Trespasser. We are very close to the end now, I believe. We've just fought through the what the hell do they call it? Another ruin. We're into this ruin here now, and we are fighting our way to the agent of Fenharel. The Canari are ahead of us, and we're trying to get through. We just fought off a big mage boss, and now we're going to find Solus before Vidasala does. So we are looking to get there.
Time to finish this.
There he is. All right. All right, is that a way? All right. I guess we're going down and finishing it as she's running ahead of us. This looks like another arena where we're gonna fight something. We just got a bunch of supply stuff too. Yep, should know. Sarat, this is the big mage boss that we were dealing with. And now he's back. And so am I, bitches. What the heck? What the heck was that? That was like a dragon move. Oh shoot! They changed my stuff again. Gonna have to hold on. Character record. Oh, I can't change it right now. Fuck. That's actually, let's go back. So I can do this beforehand because I want to change it out. Apparently it's not set up the way I want it to be set up. I want my, oops. This should be there. My dodge wasn't there. Okay.
Time to finish this.
Are dead in your soul is dust.
All right. All right, now let's do it. This time, this is for real this time. That hit me somehow? Okay. He's running around to get a land on. Oh, how does he see me? That's some bullshit. I'll do that. Where's everyone else at? Okay, that's weird, but guess those are some more. Let me hit him with some of this then. You might like that. You might like some of that. Okay, that just somehow pulls me in no matter what. Okay, that's just some bullshit. Maybe I have to hit him with the big stuff when that happens. Haha, I caught him right before he did anything. Ah, he's burning and he's screaming. I love it. Oh, I caught him with that in mid-air. That's pretty funny. Was not like that too much. Oh, now you're bringing up demons? You son of a bitch. Why am I low on health all of a sudden? What am I getting hit by? Oh. That hit my own people too? Okay, why did that was like 2 seconds. We fought a lot longer than that before one went off. It's so weird. It's so weird how often it's how often it's going off without me doing. Wow, that should have wrecked this demon here, and it somehow didn't. Where is he at? There he is. See, I'm getting. What am I getting hit by? I mean, it's like a lot of this. I'm not like no one else is getting hit by this stuff, but I am. What is hitting me? Like literally, what is hitting me? How? How does that work? It like doesn't. Okay, so now he can dodge out of the way of things. Okay. But whatever, he's almost dead. Missed. Did not miss. Oh, I didn't hit him, that's why. I was gonna say that should take care of everyone. Oh, now he's bringing out the big old stuff here. Here, have some of that. He didn't die to that? That's interesting. I can't! Okay, now I can. Boom. Got him. You deserved it, my man. You deserved it. Alright. Y'all staying here or what? What going down? Hey, y'all talking to me or what? Okay, I guess not. It's just me. Alrighty. Oh, okay. I hope this isn't a one-on-one battle. Oh, we would be fucked. Right. Go. That big dude turned us down. They were all around the Illuvian too. Oh, wow. Did they get all turned to stone at once?
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
Don't do it. Oh, without even looking. Damn, that's cold. Oh, he's being so casual about it. What the hell, man? Did he just stone ourselves? I thought he stoned our hand, maybe.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
Alright, so we did find everything, which means this is why this popped up. This is why I wanted to grab all those things. Is because this is the one.
The Kunari answered some of those questions. The information I found while traveling through the Illuvians answered more. You're Fen'Harel. You're the Dreadwolf.
Well done. I was soulless first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Attack him? That seems like a bad idea.
Are you a fragment of what Fen'Harel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever.
That's crazy.
Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
This motherfucker made the Veil.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evenuris.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
So this is my question. Were you into Mythal? Because it kind of seems like you were.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evenuris would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? A The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
The Evanurus were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dathara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging.
The Fade?
It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
Jesus. That's pretty hardcore, though. If he was able to take their immortality by creating the Fade, Jesus, and then just making the Fade itself, that's these elven mages must have been so powerful way back when.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
What?
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer.
What?
You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
But what's the point if you're going to? What's the point if it's going to, if you're gonna start a war and try and kill us? That I don't get it.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
That's why I picked up the orb at the end of the main quest.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the Veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
That sounds bad.
So, at least some of the stories about the Dreadwolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
So Does this change then, depending on your relationship with him? Because it seems like we forged a good relationship with him. He said he respected us in the last talk, which I guess at that point would have been the romance if I were an elven mage, which kind of makes it interesting. I'd be kind of interested to see how that goes about. But does that mean he can be like really pissed and be like, yeah, no, I don't give a damn about you guys at this point?
For whatever it's worth, thanks for the castle.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
You control the Illuvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Hallam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Veilguard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time.
Speaking of which,
The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
what did he do? Like, it's still there? Or what? Oh? I don't know what happened there.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Oh, god damn it.
Yes, because this Solas
It's not
provoked
gonna
them in
load.
the first place.
We gotta try
The
again.
Inquisition
Oh.
did not cause this threat. We informed the summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, I doubt you would be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
We're missing part of our arm though now. Oh, okay, so the two choices are disband or serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against souls will be stronger, but risk corruption. Or... Okay, so they're... Okay, But be more secure. I think that the best plan... It's gotta be this. It's gotta be the best plan, especially if we want to redeem him. because we want to show him things. Corruption would show him bad stuff, so we don't want to do that. So security is good.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. It wasn't a formally authorized treaty that saved Ferelden's people. It wasn't careful diplomacy that ended your inane civil war. It was never about the organization. It was about people doing what was necessary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to save. Again. Effective immediately, the Inquisition is disbanded.
That was a pretty badass, though. Cassandra was happy. That's good. Oh, he gave her a book. Oh, they're friends. Awesome. Oh, were you taking a picture? That's what it looks like. Alright, people are leaving though. We had our one moment of friends. I'm surprised Josie didn't stay the longest. Of course, there's okay. That makes sense. Okay, that's how they do it. I guess the love interest comes back. In short order, the Inquisition was disbanded. Some were relieved to see the unpredictable organization dismantled. Since there seems there's no narration. Others prefer to remember the Inquisition's good works and the many lives it had saved. Those who had served returned to their former lives, knowing they had stopped a great evil from destroying the world. And hoping that the peace for which they had fought remained once the Inquisition was gone. With the dragon's breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Qunari retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvolan, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. That's what Sola said was going to happen. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. However, she eventually became disgusted by Vivienne, who she felt was perverting the Chant of Light's intent, and left the council. As you would expect. They were not seeing eye to eye. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. As the Inquisition forces returned to civilian life, its mages pushed for independence from the Circle. Divine Victoria, secure on her sunburst throne, and with the rebuilt Chantry Circle at her disposal, chose to be magnanimous. She grudgingly allowed them to remain as the College of Enchanters, as a mark of her regard for the Inquisition. For the next few years, the College and the Circle coexisted peacefully, if barely. Maybe I'll turn down a little bit more. Leliana continued to act as the Inquisition spymaster in its final months as an independent organization. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rector, and Harding. Many believed that Leliana feared what lay on the horizon and was grooming successors in anticipation of the challenges ahead, which is smart. It's always good to have people learning from the best of the best. With the Inquisition disbanded, Sarah joined the Inquisitor in officially retiring from scaring people in high places. Hey, look, that's our arm and we have a crossbow on it. That's crazy. By formal account and agreement, both would lead boring, safe lives nowhere special, doing not much at all. Oh, it's it's a hook. It's a climbing hook. That's crazy. And with that comforting lie, those in power continued their fragile lives as though all was back to normal. Meanwhile, Red Jenny, an entirely separate person not at all collectively embodied by Sarah, the Inquisitor, and countless friends, continued to make a difference, or just have fun, where and when the impulse struck. And also get cool machinery for the arm. With frequent visits to her, with her whittle, of course. Aw, that's cute. Barrick took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. He looks so happy. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. Of course. With the Inquisition disbanded, the Bulls' Chargers returned to taking jobs throughout Orlais and Ferelden. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatori forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition disbanded, Cullen retired from active service with his big-ass dog. He returned to Ferelden, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars on land Divine Victoria granted to him. That's good, he's helping them with their lyrium addictions, those that want to. With his help, many Templars shed their lyrium addiction, and those whose minds were too far gone spent their last days in comfort. Good man. And he promised that, should his friends from the old Inquisition ever need him, his blade would be ready. Also, as expected. Dorian returned to Deventer to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. I think this picture of him does not do him justice. Along with Magister Maevaris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavis's side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal, which we did talk about it in when we got a chance to chat with him. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. In the opening episode of Trespasser, where we got to talk to everyone, we talked about the message crystal. After the Exalted Council, Tom Rainier bid farewell to his friends and went to Weisshaupt Fortress to pledge himself to the Grey Wardens for good. While he was rarely seen in the years that followed, some said they encountered Rainier in far-flung lands, their accounts always similar. Rainier carried out the duty of the Wardens, but always found time to help others along the way. Sometimes he served as a shield for the defenseless. Other times he spread simple cheer among children with gifts of small, carved toys. With the Inquisition disbanded, Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva and her family. She was soon approached by an ancient from the House of Repose whose assassins had been killed by Inquisition agents on Josephine's behalf. Oh yeah, I remember doing that now. Far from being offended, the House of Repose was inquiring as to whether Josephine might have need of their services. She quickly persuaded them she had no need for assassins, but instead hired them as guards for the Montilier's new trading vessels. Ravani pirates looking to rekindle an ancient feud soon learned that the Montilier ships were not lightly boarded, and her house prospered greatly. The Inquisitor found herself warmly received by Josephine's family, and House Montilier soon became a second home. A place where the Inquisitor could, at last, find peace for a time, with Josephine happily by her side. Cole took the road with Mirrodin to find a new life and a new way to be human. Wherever Mirrodin went to sing, people found old pains eased and hearts made happier, even if they didn't understand why. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. They all under Solus then? None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen'Harel wondered just how large the Dread Wolf's forces were. And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. See what we get here now. There's Josephine. And a leaky roof? Ah, Liliana.
I found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Getting the band back together.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
Girl power too right now. Into Venter. Interesting. Okay, so that is how we're setting up Trespasser. This is the handoff, or this is the handoff to Veilguard, from what I understand. That this is directly leading into the Veilguard here. So us as the Inquisition, we were getting the band back together, at least the ladies, and we are looking for someone in Tevinter to take the reins here. Now, one thing that I want to say is I know one of the complaints about Veilguard is that it's kind of Marvel movie-ish and that it seems to be a tonal shift. But as you can see from the end here of Trespasser, especially at the very end, the last bits of the group together and then this here, this is very much heading in that direction, as it were. We had the group together, we disbanded, and now we're bringing people back together. Like, this is very much going in a direction of a hero story, I think. That's just what it feels like. It feels like they're going in that kind of direction where here there's like could be a singular hero and a group of people with that hero to finally save the world. That's what it seems like to me, just from what I'm seeing from Trespasser. There's a group in the background, us, the Inquisition, or former Inquisition, kind of, I don't want to say manipulating things behind, but supporting efforts behind, because we have all this information. We know about the Dreadwolf. We know what he's up to. We have, we have a relationship, a friendship with this person, with this quote unquote God. And thus we are, like I said, we're going to be in the background on this one, but I can see why they kind of went in that direction for the Veilguard then. I know there are a lot of people that complains about, oh, everyone seems to be lovey-dovey.
A new book? All this shit is weird.
Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Wonderful. What are you talking about? I appreciate that he went with that, though. That was amazing.
The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
Oh my god, she's so funny. This is underrated for how funny it is. Having Cassandra reading it out loud is just perfect.
The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Oh, this is amazing. With the Cassandra VA is just, this is amazing.
The enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wine glass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
She's doing voices. This is amazing. Absolutely, this is absolute cinema. Oh, I wish there was a video of her doing this too.
Liliane enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death.
This is amazing. Why aren't people getting mad as she's doing the voices? That would have been the whipped cream on this.
Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwolf's hand. The silver-eyed wings of valor. They mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
That's unpassable, Josephine.
We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening? The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually.
Amazing.
The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
Look how she's surprised about this.
The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible.
She's so enjoying herself.
The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh. Very.
That's more cyberpunk. That's more Chinese Silverhand than anything. Oh, is that the last? Come on.
Where am I? I don't...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful.
Oh my god.
Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book. I'm in the book. I am reading the shit out of this.
To all of you who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, cried, and reached out on social media, who made fan art and comics and cosplay and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you, it would never have been possible. Your support and your passion touched us deeply. We hope that in some small way, this game touched you as well. Bear your blade, raise it high. Dragon Age team. That was a perfect ending. I love that so much. I love that so much. That was everything I needed out of it. Cassandra. That was such pitch perfect Cassandra. And then her doing like the voices and stuff. Oh, I actually press the button. I don't know what I actually hit here. I don't need to do this. I'll go back to the main menu. Oh, this is like right before we go in. But yeah, I'm very much happy about it. But yeah, we are now set up. We have everything we need to go into Veilguard. If I were smart and I had prepped and downloaded Veilguard like I meant to, we could have started like character creation. But I did not, so we're gonna have to save that. But with that, there's not really anything for us to do. I mean, we could go back and do some more of the deep roads, but that like a half hour, I don't really want to get into anything in case there's a big fight that comes up. If it would be different if we had a full stream and we had like an hour 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes to really get into it. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to jump in, and it's going to be a long one. So I imagine that once again, we will not be doing like a straight, well, we are definitely not going to be just playing it, being the only game that we play. For one thing, we have Honkai Star Rail new mission came up that we're gonna have to do. But also I wanna start mixing in some other stuff, especially once we have the new art. I'm gonna want to start mixing in some other stuff as well. Try some other games here and there, just to mix things up so we're not just playing the same thing. I was doing it here, especially right now, because I wanted to get through this as fast as possible in order to get the Veilguard, and this is as fast as we could do it. We still took like what, 2.5 months. So it definitely, Veilguard is definitely going to be something. It's going to take a while, I think. It's going to suck because the Vile's going to be coming too, and I won't want to get in that, and that just might take the full 4 months. So I mean, I'm definitely going to be trying to do as much as possible. Definitely I want to try weekend ones to do that, because that's when we have the most time. So that's usually the easiest way to fit all that in. So try and focus on that, I think. Although sometimes it's probably better for some of the other missions. I guess if we get like an Archon quest or something, we might have to switch it up. But anyway, the what I'm really want to get at though is that in a couple weeks we're going to be having some more time off, of course, and so we will probably be focusing on Veilguard at first. We'll mix in a little bit of other stuff too, I think, just to break things up a little bit. But I'm going to try to get a few afternoon ones in there. But we should have some good amount of time to really dig in at first. So, well, not at first, because the next week is I'll still be working, so it'll still be a normal week. But after that, for a few weeks, we will have time to really dig in to it. So that will be good. And that last week of December, maybe, and we're near the new year, if things are going well, if I'm feeling good, we may have that karaoke stream too, so it's also something to look forward to. But yeah, we'll definitely be digging into Veilguard, trying to get what we can done while we have the time. Good time to focus on it. Maybe we'll do some afternoons of Star Rail to work on that, and yeah, hopefully that will all work out pretty good. So definitely big things coming. Let's put it that way. There are big things coming. The Veilguard. We're gonna be playing Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Could be fun. 2, Honkai Star Rail. We're gonna have that mission to do. So we're gonna have that. Number 3, possible karaoke stream in by the end of the month. Possible. We'll see. Number 4, new art and new, I guess, me. Kind of gonna try and start leaning into that a little bit more. A little bit more character work, I guess. Trying to go a little bit more wrestling with some kayfabe. That's what we're gonna try and do, and try and use that as our chance to do that. So, you know, I don't want to say we're gonna be super different. It's just it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna lean into things a little bit more. We're gonna try and just kind of, like I said, emphasize certain parts more and less on like the more public facing version of me that is kind of the same as the flesh version. I would want to try and separate that a little bit more and be better at that. And so we're gonna try and character it a little bit more while not losing what I am. So it might be some roughness at first, but we're gonna figure that out. But that's to come. But I don't think it's gonna be too much of a change, really, because you'll see what I mean with the idea comes. And I think especially for the games I like, you'll see exactly why I decided to go in that direction. But then, you know, new year, once we have the new art and stuff, then we will also have some we'll start mixing in some other stuff. I talked about this previously. I want to start mixing in a little bit of writing. I want to do some world building on stream as kind of something to get into, to break up things, and also because I do want to start doing that, and this is my time to do a lot of the stuff that a lot of my hobbies. This is the time to do it because I don't really have time other than this. So I want to get back into that, and so we'll do some of that on stream, and we can maybe even do some writing. That will probably come a long time. Like I would really like if things start going well, to maybe do like a writing month, but we'll see. I know this year they had a world building challenge in November, and if they do that again next year, I think I might do that. Because I think that would be cool, and it's just fun to do. I have 2 stories that have been percolating for a very long time. One for a super long time. So I have a fantasy world that I've been building and kind of sketching out, especially in my mind mostly, but I also have some stuff that I need to start putting into forms there I can organize it and see it. But a fantasy world that has been brewing for a long time, but which still working on a lot of the details and stuff, but there's like one particular part that I've really focused on. It's a very large city that like one of the stories I was thinking was doing a city life anthology kind of thing where we have separate stories that kind of are taking place in the city at the same time that might intersect, might not. I've had a couple of storylines that I was thinking of, but I was trying to think of more, but just to kind of introduce the city of that way. But I do need to work on like actually detailing it and stuff. There's a lot that I have thought of, but a lot of it will probably have to change as it actually takes shape. But then I also have like some history parts and things like that I have all kind of thought out that needs to be done. But there's that, and then I have a sci-fi story set in another it's another galaxy kind of thing, so another solar system type deal in another galaxy, and I was starting to plot out how, or at least build some of the planets and some of the organizations and stuff that are in there to write a story that's kind of I was looking to do I don't want to say not like a Firefly story, but in that kind of frame, like a Cowboy Bebop-ish, Firefly-ish kind of story that doesn't take itself seriously, kind of like an action-ish kind of thing, but also dealing with certain other things. And so I have a lot of stuff to build there that I would like to get down as well, to just kind of start building on stuff, because of the stories I think I might write, that one is the most likely to actually be written. Not that it would be good or I would like publish it or anything, but just I feel like I have more of that story plotted and could go. I just want to build around it. So you know, that kind of stuff is going to come as well, to kind of mix in some stuff. And of course there's also almost certainly next year at some point I'm going to be taking on a new job, and that will probably change things a bit. So yeah, we'll see how that changes the stream and everything. Imagine that, especially if I have to start going in instead of being at home, going to be less times to stream because I'm going to have to get up earlier in order to make a trip. So while that sucks, at least then we'll have some other stuff. So we'll start planning things out and seeing how things go, and then maybe we'll get some more people into and start seeing what we can do collaboratively and things like that. So we'll see. That's kind of like the big kind of plans that we've got coming in the near to further future. So excitement. I find that to be exciting. So we'll end a little bit early here, but I'm excited. So I'm currently planning to do Veilguard tomorrow. However, there's a chance that we do the Saturday stream tomorrow instead, and then in that case we would do Veilguard on Saturday. So if you want to go to the other channel, if we're not here on Friday, then I'm on the other channel, and if we're here on Friday, then almost certainly Saturday will be on the other channel. There's a chance that we might do Friday and Saturday here, but just to keep that in mind. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, I am looking forward to starting the Veilguard, and looking forward to digging in. This first episode is gonna be interesting because it's character creator. You know what that means. We're gonna have to create a character, and who knows how that's gonna go. I'm not the kind of person like, I guess, who was it that spent 20 something hours in it, Brebun, I think. I'm not that, but I do sometimes get into it a little bit. I think what I might do is see if I can find some time before and start looking at it beforehand, so that I have some ideas, so I'm not already, trying to mess with things on stream, because that could suck. But also, we'll see how I definitely need to look into this a little bit more first, because I got to figure out what kind of graphic settings and everything we can run with. My video card still, it's like 4 years old at this point. Got a 2080. It should run Veilguard fine, but we'll have to see what kind of settings we can run it at. So got stuff to do there, but looking forward to it. Very hyped for it, and it's supposed to run pretty well, so I think that should be fine. We are looking at doing a new build too, so that should be ready. Hopefully I'll start getting stuff during the Christmas time and be ready to go start building it in January. I thought about maybe trying to do a stream of building it, but I don't have anywhere that we can actually do it, I don't think. And last thing I want to do is invite chat into backseat what I'm doing. But yeah, that's also in the future. So we have a lot of stuff. So thank you all for hanging out and watching. Thank you all for following along here on Inquisition. checking it out, checking out the run and everything. We didn't do a full run, like the full 100%, but we did. We got through pretty much everything that we wanted to. So this is probably what, an 80%-ish run. We got through all the main quests. We got through a bunch of side quests. We got through all the companion quests that we needed to do. Got through our one romance. We got through some other side stuff as well. So I think we did a pretty good job. So, like I said, thanks for hanging out, watching the whole, or at least however much you watched of this playthrough. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So thank you. If you're enjoying yourself, of course, on Twitch, hit that follow button and notification button. On YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, whether on the stream or any of the videos you haven't to watch, any of the live streams you haven't to watch, any of the VODs you haven't to watch, all that stuff that's there. Check it out. And yeah, I appreciate it. There are links in the description of the videos to Twitch and social media, so you can check that out there. On Twitch, there's links to YouTube and social media in the profile, in the panels, and also in chat you can put !YouTube and !social. So very easy to get from one to the other and everything. Yeah, so thank y'all once again. I enjoyed it. Happy. Glad that we could actually get through it. But yeah, there's a lot here. I guess we could have gone through more thoughts, but we may have to do that another time. But hopefully y'all doing well out there. Stay well, stay safe, stay good, stay healthy, stay fresh. I will catch up with y'all next time for some Veilguard. Y'all be good, be safe.